I'm a gut feeling kind of girl. And I feel like this is the thing that makes me the midwife that I am. Without it, I don't think certain decisions in my life I would not have made. Without it, I truly believe that my gut feeling and that sense that I've always had has sometimes been the thing that saves people, like saves patients. I have allowed my gut feeling to lead my entire life. More of you can relate than you think. And this is the first time that I actually feel like my gut has put me on the right path. Like, I actually feel like what's about to come is going to be life-changing. I don't know what it is, but I know that I'm going to get myself there. The very first time I ever felt like this connection was when Zishan passed away. Now, some of you who follow me and went to school with me will know Zishan, and will remember him. And he was one of our classmates who passed away in 2011. We were 18. Like, we were so young. It kind of like unlocked this thing in me where I was like, why do I feel like he's still around? Like, I felt like I could feel him in rooms, or I felt like his energy, like his soul was still there. I felt like people, I was on the bus and I remember there was a guy who came on the bus and then left the bus, and I just thought, oh my God, why do I feel like that's him? It was the weirdest thing. I can't even explain it. Moving on. One of my favorite teachers from school, we had each other on Facebook. She lives in Canada and her best friend passed away. I cannot remember her best friend's name. Let's call her Rachel. But say, I don't know, I saw a status that said Rachel passed away. That night, I then had a dream of Zishan and Rachel at the top of this hill. And at the top of this hill, I'm like looking, and it was like the greenest hill you'll ever see with the bluest skies, like, and like two people dressed in white, like literally what you would think how they would show heaven to be in the movies, yeah? And I'm looking at the top of this hill, and then Zishan's like waving me over, and he was like, Leela, come over here, come over here. And I was like, Zishan, is that you? And then I'm looking at this woman next to him, and I'm thinking, who's that? And he said, Leela, this is Rachel. I've made a new friend. Tell Jen she's okay. Jen is the name of my school teacher. He said, tell Jen she's okay. She's fine. I'm looking after her. She's with me. And I was like, oh my God. And he said to me, and Leela, my sister keeps asking about me. Tell her I'm fine. So I'm like, oh my God. Anyway, next morning, I messaged his sister, and I remember to this day, his sister replied and she said, I can't believe it, Leela. Just last night I said, Zishan, just send me a sign. Anyway, I'm not saying I'm like connected or anything, but maybe I am. But anyway, that's not the point of this video. I am saying that I just get this gut feeling, and my gut feelings never ever lie to me, ever. They've never been wrong to me. It really is my second brain. And I remember when Ethan was born, and anyone who knows me and is close to me and remembers me around the time that Ethan was born, he was born with Down syndrome. I was their midwife. We had no idea. All the tests came back completely negative. Nothing pointed in the direction of Down syndrome. But I just remember in the lead up to his birth, the gut feeling I had was unbelievably strong. Like, I knew something wasn't right. I just knew it. I even spoke to Elise, who's a hypnobirthing doula, and I'm like, I said to her, you need to hypnobirth me. Like, you need to hypnotize me somehow, because I can't get this feeling out of my head, and I feel like something's going to go wrong and I don't know what it's going to be. And granted, I thought it was going to be a lot worse than what we actually got given. And then on the day that he was born, I just remember the feeling in the room where we locked eyes on each other, me and Ethan, me and this newborn baby who is literally 3 seconds old. And I remember looking at him thinking, oh my God, I was right. I knew I wasn't wrong. I knew something wasn't 100% right. Turns out he had an extra chromosome, and now he is cheeky as shit. So really his name should have been Dennis the Menace and not Ethan. And that's the only issue we really have with him, because he's really fucking naughty. But he's my homie with an extra chromie, and that's a story for another day. But the point is, it was my gut feeling that told me something. It was something in my gut that told me something was going to happen, and you needed to be there, and you need to act fast or something. Anyways, so when I say it guides me in life, but also in my career, late last year, I had this gut feeling that I needed to leave the business that I was previously in. I co-founded that business, and I was in that business for 9 years. And for a little while before that, I was feeling like I would tap in and out of thinking, I don't know if this is the right thing. I don't know if maybe I've done my time here. I don't know if the partnership isn't right. And like I said, I would tap in and out of that. Late last year, I got this feeling. and it was a very strong one. And the feeling said to me, if you don't leave now, you will never achieve the success that you want. You will never achieve the growth that you want. And so I made the decision to leave based on that gut feeling. Based on other things, of course, based on fact that was in front of me, but a lot of it was gut feeling driven. So I left. I signed it all over and I left. And then I started Mother. And since I started Mother and launched it in January, something about it feels so much like home. It feels so much like me. It feels so aligned with everything that I believe in, everything that I am, my character, everything. I'm like, as a person, as a midwife, as an entrepreneur, it like ticks every single box. I'm very much everything happens for a reason. People who come into your life come in for a reason. I'm that person. Back in February, a really lovely lady by the name of Dana finds me on Instagram and sends me a DM. And so I clicked on it. We then got into conversation. We end up having a phone call first and then a video call. And we just kind of, in each other's DMs. And then for the first time this week, we met. She invited me to like this networking lunch. This was the first time that I went to a networking lunch. And guys, I can't tell you like, these people, they were not midwives, they were not healthcare professionals, they were so far from my industry that even a part of me, I remember saying to Dana, like, what do I say to these people? And Dana was like, girl, are you crazy? Like, you just come and you be yourself. And 5 of us sat at this table. I feel like not because they did anything, they were super uplifting, but genuinely, it's so funny because I felt like the smallest person in the room. And I felt, and we've got a photo, and I'll put the photo here, and I look like the smallest person in the room. Like I literally look like a little smidge on this table. I just look like a little baby. And that's how I kind of felt. But it was great. I learned so much. I was around such inspiring people. It motivated me. Here's the thing that struck me the most. When we were sat at the table, the co-founder of this mergers and acquisition firm, he was talking. His name is Rishi. And Rishi was speaking. And he said, yeah, because Zishan. And I said, who's Zishan to you? And he said, Zishan's my co-founder. And I just thought to myself, Zishan's here. Zishan's here. I very rarely hear Zishan's name. It's not an uncommon name, but I very rarely hear it. I work with clientele who are predominantly from a South Asian background, Indian, Pakistani background. Zishan, he himself was Pakistani. It's not an uncommon name, especially in the Pakistani community. Why am I not hearing that name more often? But I don't. And I'm sat at that table with 4 other incredibly successful people. And the co-founder of a mergers and acquisitions firm turns around, has a conversation and mentions Zishan's name, obviously in relation to himself, his co-founder, the Zishan that he knows. And in that moment, I said, it's my Zishan. In that moment, I knew I was in the right place. In that moment, it was a sign. My gut told me I was exactly where I needed to be. Listen to your gut. Knowledge is great and it's very powerful. And we always say knowledge is power, knowledge is power. But wisdom is something else. Life experience is something else. And a gut feeling, I feel, comes above everything. So I guess if you have a gut feeling to do something or to not do something, or if you have a gut feeling to leave a relationship, leave a job, I don't know, a gut feeling to do anything, just tune into that gut feeling. I feel like this time next year, the kind of video that I'll be posting will be reposting this as proof to say, remember that gut feeling I was talking about, and look at how much my life has changed. The 5 to 9 is coming to an end to start the 9 to 5. Bye, guys.